feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll still be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have...
Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly King, better known as the Detroit Atheist Queen, and I thank you all for tuning in and watching the next episode of Secular Activism Unfiltered. So, before I bring our guests out, I do want to announce a couple of fundraisers. The first one is the Black Nonbelievers fundraiser. If $15,000 is donated for this cause, then myself, Cynthia, and Mandisa will eat a bag of candy corn live on air. I will put the link in the chat in a few minutes. But I also wanted to bring up another very important fundraiser. This will be on the Skeptic Haven channel, 7 p.m. Friday. We will be helping 3 of our family members in this community that have serious medical bills for serious medical issues. Amber, Sadie, and Kyle. So I appreciate you for donating, and I will send the link for that as well. And now I will bring my guest onto the stage. Okay, go ahead and move this. So, hi, how are you doing today?
Hey, Kelly, I'm doing great. How are you?
Okay, I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we've connected in the secular community and everything like that, and have been doing a lot of things together within the community to help it be better, I should say. Now, um, explain a little bit about yourself. I haven't even told your name.
Okay. Well, my name is Anthony Grinblat. I am the current president of Michigan Atheists. I am what's called a day one atheist. We're all born atheists, and then whoever raises us, that's whatever we become: Christian, Jewish, Hindu, or in my case, my parents were secular Jews, so we stayed atheists. We're very close with our Jewish cultural background, but it's mostly the food and the celebration and a lot of guilt, and not so much of the religious aspect, although I do have some family members that are very religious. And but we're still very close and we're still very good. So I grew up being secular and atheist, and I didn't really have a strong need to attach myself to religion or even kind of seek out atheism by itself, just because being born in the Soviet Union, where the official religion was atheism, we were all kind of on the same page, more or less. And the people who were religious, it wasn't a big deal. There was not a whole lot of pressure to convert or to move one way or the other. So that was kind of my upbringing, close with my family. But then as I got older, it would just seemed a lot more appropriate to start seeing other people with similar beliefs as I do, because we all grow and evolve.
And you being an activist in community, was your family also activist?
Not so much activists. I think that really comes from my passion for marketing because I'm a business person. I've been a business person for now around 31 years. I started when I was 13 years old, riding around my immigrant community called Northgate in Oak Park, Michigan, selling bootleg VHS tapes. And hey, that's what we immigrants do. It was the thing. It was the 90s. And then I went on to legitimate businesses. Yes, it was very much illegal to bootleg VHS tapes, but that was 30 years ago, and I'm pretty sure everybody's gotten over it. No harm, no foul. I didn't make that much money from it, but I had that ambition. And so I've been doing business. I've been a business owner, my own business since 2008. It's a media company, and I've also been paid by other people to run their businesses. And I've been with the same company for the last 10 years. So that's where I really have a passion is marketing. And when I saw the opportunity to participate in a nonprofit business, that was really the only type of business that I hadn't been involved in because I did online business, brick and mortar, goods, services, everything you can imagine, everything that's possible in business. This was the last one. And I was able to actually financially be secure enough that I could devote some of my time to the community that I love. And I have a huge passion for atheism. I have a huge passion for equality. The First Amendment is extremely important to me, especially as an immigrant coming from the Soviet Union, having freedom of expression, not worried about being taken out to a gulag, having your neighbor spy on you, turn you in just because you said you don't like something from politics, which I know, and I don't want to get too political. A lot of people feel like it's that way today, but we've championed to make things better for everybody. Equality is really important, and First Amendment rights for everyone.
That brings me to another thing. So recently we had some issues in our community where someone made a comment that was very offensive. And I just want to thank you for you standing up and speaking and setting them straight immediately, like within 2 seconds. I thank you for that. And this is what we need in the community, allies. And I consider you an ally in our for women. I thank you.
Oh, my
You know,
pleasure. Yeah, absolutely. My excuse me. My great grandfather, who I knew until he passed away when I was 17 years old, he actually was captured by the Nazis during World War II. Most of for all the historians, they know that most of the war was fought on that Eastern Front between Germany and the Soviet Union, 50% casualties. So he was captured. He was sent to a work camp and escaped. And we all knew the stories of his heroism. And there's a famous poem that came out after the Holocaust. When they came for the Jews, I said nothing because I was not Jewish. When they came for the communists, I said nothing because I wasn't a communist. And for the Catholics, the gays, the gypsies. And then when they finally came for me, there was nobody left to speak up. And the first time I heard that, I was about 16, 17 years old. And it just resonated perfectly with me. It just hit me. There was no need to explain it or anything like that. It made perfect sense. You got to look out for each other. And I will even say that a lot of religious contexts, they say the same thing. We should take care of our communities. And sadly, a lot of people in the religious community, they don't follow their own guidelines, their own laws. We in the atheist community often say that we are more aligned with the values of religion than the actual religious people, because we're not excluding people. We're always standing up for each other. And that's the way it should be. Yeah, once in a while, some people kind of creep by, maybe some old school people that grew up at a different time, different era. I can't blame somebody who is, a certain age and grew up a certain way and may not realize certain phrases are harmful today that may have been okay 30, 40, 50 years ago. So absolutely, we have to look out for each other.
yeah, exactly. Um, I was trying to think of what I was about to ask you. Yeah, I mean that's really a great, but so I'm gonna talk about, so I really like how you have taken American Atheist, and that's one reason why I'm a board member. We do a lot of tabling and other different events, and we do something we call debaptisms. Now, what was your idea and concept of doing that?
So I always give credit where credit is due. And one of our board members, Jim Kleiner, was the one who actually introduced me to the debaptisms. I had never seen or heard of one until I saw him perform it at one of our most popular events. It's called Dally in the Alley. And I thought it was a really cool theatrical thing to do. It's very showy. And from a marketing perspective, I thought it was great. And so earlier this year, when the tabling season began in May, and our first event was Warren Pride, um, he started doing them, and we all took turns and started doing them too, so that the responsibilities don't fall on just one person. We all have to share in that responsibilities of everything. There's no such thing as, well, that's not my job. It's everybody's job to make sure that it's a well-oiled functioning machine. So I also have a little bit of a theatrical background. I did a lot of theater when I was in high school. I did some improv on my own. And so I made it kind of a character where I kind of do the preacher voice. I know when you,
Yeah, it's funny.
if,
You got your robe now.
yeah, I got a black robe with upside down crosses. Some people have stopped and yelled at me, "How dare you have an upside down cross?" And I try to to them why the cross is upside down, and it's not as harmful as people think. But yeah, it's a character that I play, and I like playing it because it's a lot of fun. I'm absolutely non-confrontational. If somebody boos me, I do not engage with them. If somebody walks by at one of our events, a Pride, Dally, Frankenfest, whatever it is, they're clearly wearing a religious necklace. I'm not going to harass them. I'm not going to bother them. We don't do conversions. We don't do, try to people get off religion if they don't want to. If people want to engage in a conversation, that's great. We're all about conversations and exchanging ideas, but we're not going to pressure anybody to do anything.
Yeah, we should, but they seem to do that they seem to want to be just the opposite and force everybody to conform to what they believe or don't believe. Okay, we did not talk about the baptism, but I'm gonna go back. What made you decide that you wanted to be president in the first place?
Well, the previous president and we worked closely together on a number of issues, and he had
Yeah.
other ideas. He had a lot of things on his plate. And last summer, he had asked me if I would like to be president because I had experience with being leadership in other organizations, plus just having a business background and the ambition to actually go out and do things. So I just thought about it literally for about half a second. And I went, yeah, I can do that. At this point in my life, I knew I shouldn't take on more than I could handle, because then the whole thing fails and nobody wins. It's just, you don't have time for everything. So I thought about, do I have time? Can I carve this out into my schedule? And so far, I've been doing that and seen some pretty good results.
Yes, I would not be a part if I felt that it was
Mm.
not good. And what's so funny is that a few of the elder members are angry that we're trying to move things in another direction.
Yep. Yeah, that's understandable. That happens all the time. I mean, that's not exclusive to our organization or atheism secular community. There's always going to be that divide between the older generation and the young generation. And I'll go back to a generation before me that used to say, if the music's too loud, you're too old. And today, if you feel like we're too active, then, well, you're too old. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of wonderful people who are much older than me in this community, people who are old enough to be my parents and even grandparents, who they don't want to participate in on-site events. And that's fine. I understand it's very physically demanding. I'm in my mid-40s and I feel my body differently than when I did these marketing events for my clients from a business perspective. When I was in my 20s and my 30s, it catches up to all of us. And I don't intend on being this person, this front man, my whole life. This is not some lifetime appointment. I have to be reelected every 2 years. I'm really hoping to bring in people over the next 5 to 10 years that can take over.
Exactly.
People that will, it's not necessarily just in my own image. It's the people who get what we're trying to do, and times are changing. Like, like for example, TikTok. I have TikTok, but I'm not on it a whole lot. We do post stuff on there. We interact with people, but I'm not scrolling through it the way, for example, like my daughter is, who's 13 years old, and she's secular. She's an atheist. Whether she wants to become in leadership later on in her teens and 20s, that's gonna be completely up to her. It's not gonna be like a, handed
Forced.
down. Exactly. Yeah, we don't do kings or queens here, other than Detroit Atheist Queen. You're the only queen we allow, and
Thanks.
so yeah, it's great to have that community. I was actually just before I logged in here earlier this morning. We sent out another reminder about we have an election coming up this Sunday, and one of the people in our community, they're not an official member, meaning just basically they haven't paid the $35 to be a member of Michigan Atheist, but they're definitely part of the community. They started asking questions about, how do I be on the board? What do I need to do? And I was very blunt and honest. I'm like, if you work, you can participate. We don't need people sitting around with quote unquote ideas. We don't need idea people. We all have ideas. We come up with the same stuff or suggestions of what somebody else should do. And she said to me what she was hoping to get out of it, and it seems like she would be a perfect fit for us. And that's how
Oh,
we're.
the one that came to the last two events?
No. This is somebody who they're more in the atheist LGBTQ community, and
Okay.
that's actually like where they said they wanted to focus. I
Okay, well,
don't.
that will work. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to drop a name because I don't know.
I don't want to hear no name. That's why I asked, was
Yeah,
it the person who came at the last two events?
yeah, no. I'm sorry. Was I
Okay.
just adjust my light here? It fell. I apologize.
Oh, you're fine. But I will say, backtrack that you are doing an amazing job raising your daughter. She's an amazing young lady.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow.
She's actually a good one. I got very
Yeah,
lucky with my daughter. She's a good one. I know. I tell people my daughter's 13. Like, oh, you have a 13-year-old.
but she's
That's
really a sweetheart, though.
no,
She
she's not
she
too bad. Yeah, she has her thing. Like
yeah,
any 13-year-old
yeah.
is. I remember she's 1,000 times better than I was when I was 13. Let me tell you that. I am. I remember my grandmother. I have one grandmother that's still alive. You've met, and I have another grandmother. She passed away
Oh yeah.
a long time ago.
She's amazing.
Yes, the one she's amazing.
Yeah.
She's
She has a
90.
lot of wisdom and everything.
She does. But I remember my other grandmother on my father's side. She used to tell me when I was younger, I hope when you grow up, you have kids just like you, so you understand how it felt. And she would use certain words. I'm not gonna translate them from Russian, but
That's what my mom said to me.
oh, they must have been reading from the same playbook.
Not exactly what she said. Okay. So we talked about the baptisms,
Mm,
and I want to talk up. So we have seen, and I wish I'll figure it out later how to connect my uh computer. I tried to connect one of my other devices, but it kept doing a little squeaky noise
mm.
to try to play some of the Christian apologists that put us on the map with the baptism, how they were debunking them. So
The responses on
yeah,
Instagram.
the responses,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
those were hilarious.
yeah, they were great. Basically, we post them on our socials, and we will have them on our website soon. As soon as we get past the election, we'll have more time to do a lot of stuff. Plus, we were really busy all summer with so many events. I mean, I think we did at least 15 events this summer, which is probably 13 more than previous years.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And I was also doing stuff nationally as well.
yep. Everybody contributed somehow. I mean, some people have weddings to go to, some people have birthdays, some people just, I don't want to do that event. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no pressure here. We're not like on the religious side where we guilt you into going, otherwise you're gonna end up burning in hell, or you're never going to heaven, or whatever scare tactic they like to use that we don't follow. Um, So yeah, those the haters. Yeah, we'll just call them the haters. As a marketing person, as the eternal optimist, I thought it was great.
I
Some
love them.
people
Yeah.
thought it was like, oh my gosh, look! People got angry at the responses. I thought, well, hold on, look at what they're doing. First of all, they're giving us a platform. They're giving us free exposure. You should always look at it that way. In the marketing world, we always say there's no such thing as bad publicity because even the worst things that people have done can be eventually with time healed and people move on. And we all have past things. I have no problem discussing back in my 20s. I got a DUI. I should never have driven drunk. I don't make excuses for it, this, that, the other. I take full responsibility and moved on. So with these people that post these videos of us, it's hilarious.
It
They,
is.
they say things like, "Oh my gosh, look at the hair dryer. It's not even plugged in. What are they thinking?" Well, clearly this person doesn't understand. We're making fun of you. We're mocking
Yeah.
you. We're lampooning you. Okay, you don't get it, but that might also be why you're so deep into your religion. And as long as you don't violate the sixth commandment, that's fine. Be as religious as you want. Just don't violate your sixth commandment. Some other people actually made some, they were actually very good speakers, and they made some interesting points about how we're out there in the street doing this, and we must obviously see religion, specifically Christianity, as a threat to us, and we do. It is a threat to us, specifically from Christian nationalism. It's not the everyday Christians. My neighbors are Christians, and some of them go to church, some of them don't, and we're fine. I've been in this house now for 11 years, and
Okay.
yeah, so we're really good with these people. But it's the Christian nationalists that are trying to change society, that try to establish how everybody should live their lives based on their context versus the First Amendment.
Exactly. I had a conversation. She's a whole nother subject, but with one of my coworkers about, and I said, I'm a strong advocate for separation of church and state. And I don't care what you want to believe. I can't, that's your business, but don't force me to conform to it. Of course, she got angry and mad because they feel that we're taking away from them by not wanting to conform to them.
Mhm.
And that's what an issue that I see. But with the debaptism, to me, it just seemed like we're letting go, even though it doesn't mean anything. Just like baptism don't mean nothing, but it's just a symbolic way that I'm releasing all religion. That's what I got from it. Because I actually got it done too. And I was like, man, you're no more. That's the final step. Because I've seen people when they do the videos will comment, oh, they do that?
Mhm.
And that's funny. So they've been, oh, I want to get that done. And I mentioned where we're gonna be at next.
Mhm.
If you want to get it done, come to Ann Arbor Pride, such day. We're doing it. I've done a couple, but I don't really get filmed. I mostly am the one filming you guys. So many of
And
the
thank you for
videos
that.
that you see, yeah, it's because of me. But yeah, you do a wonderful job. It's like, and then you when you say the promise to get your money back
Oh
if you
yeah,
don't make it to hell, if you don't make it to
that
heaven.
yeah, that's when my cat calls when we're doing these events. If you could imagine, just like the booth set up, the 10 by 10 booths, and people are just walking down the street. It's booth, 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 and so I look at it as like one of those old fashioned bazaars, and people are like, "Bye, I got a cat call to get them in," and I would yell out, "Guarantee to keep you out of hell, or guarantee to keep you out of hell, or your money back." Things along those lines. You got to improvise here and there, and do a little light banter with the people.
Yeah, you have to, and it's just so sad that people believe this nonsense still to this day. And we have all this evidence, internet, website, debates that's easily, readily available. Because, in the past, this is what I was taught, and I didn't have any other way of seeing anything different. And so the people that I trusted, I would ask them questions, and they would just say, trust God, or you have no faith. So here we are. So at the age of, and I always say it's been 10 years, but actually I've been atheist about 8 years because it was 17 when I actually deconstructed. So there we are. So I spent 5 years silent, and then 3 years, well, 2 years I spent just in the local community. And now I've been sent to branch out and be more public and more national with my activism. But I won't forget about my family, Black non-believers and Michigan atheists. And I always mention that I'm a part of you guys. So don't think that I don't forget about you as I move on.
You
But
can't leave us.
yeah.
No, 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 no. We're a cult. You're not allowed to leave. There are consequences if you leave. For starters, you'll hurt my feelings.
Yeah, because I remember a couple times, like with the Friendsgiving, and I was like, well, I might not be able to make it because I might work or something like that. He was like, we're gonna make it another day then, so you can come. But yeah, I do like our minus a few people. I overall like our group.
I think that makes it an official family because yeah, there's
Yes, it
some
is.
family
Yes,
members you
yes,
get
yes,
along with,
yes,
great.
yes.
You cousins you love, and there's that one crazy uncle that says ignorant things, and you're like, just. But they're here with us too. So what are you gonna do?
Yes, yes, because Tamara was my first guest on the show. We had a great conversation as well. And I'm thankful for her. I'm thankful for you because we give different dynamics on different things, but we all come together because we agree on a lot of things as well.
Mhm.
And I'm happy that you asked me to join the gang to be part of the Michigan Heathen group. I appreciate that and everything. Uh, do you have anything that you want, any new ideas that you're trying to bring forth to the group?
Um, well, let's see. I'm wondering how much I can divulge about the plan
Well,
for next
without,
year.
yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah.
we're going to continue doing what we have been doing. So this we
Okay.
just finished because we were about to have our election. Oh, there goes my light again. Because we just had we're about to have our election this coming Sunday. That means that I've been president now for 1 year, and uh, basically this is my midterm, and it's kind of like
Okay.
a referendum on how we've been doing, and based on the increased number of memberships and participation and outings. Michigan Atheist has actually been around since 1975. We just had our
We're
50th
twins.
anniversary. Uh, it's crazy that it's older than I am, but
Same age as me.
it's a good number.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, same age as Jaws too, and so uh, it was amazing the fact that this organization has been around since 1975 and doing these events in Ann Arbor, Lansing, the Detroit area, Flint. People would walk by and say, "I didn't even know there was an organization. Is this new?" And like, no, the sign right here says since
Yeah,
1975, defending.
75. Yeah.
And like, wow. And I understand there was a different time and there was different people, and there's not a lot of marketing people in our community. Usually the people who have a passion for marketing like myself, they gravitate way more towards capitalism and just building personal wealth and giving lots of stuff. I need to have the biggest house, the fanciest boat. I have the newest car, clothes, jewelry, all these materialistic things. And I understand it's the nature of the beast. And then sometimes somebody like myself comes along that's like, yeah, I'm not a very materialistic person. I make good money. I provide for my family. My daughter's never known a day without at least 3 meals. And we've gone out, so that she has no trouble ordering.
Yeah, she goes crazy. I mean, how she gonna eat all that?
She's a good eater. She's very healthy eater. She's very proportionate. She's not heavy set. She's not underweight. She's right where she
Yeah.
needs to be. That's all that matters. She's very healthy, and not in the oh, you look healthy sense, but legitimately healthy.
But
Uh,
yeah.
So we do have a lot of stuff coming up, building on what it is that we've been doing so far. I've learned a lot about these pride events that we've done. I've learned a lot about other events that are going on around town, walking around the street marketing teams, which I've done for club promotion, but not so much for this. And I kind of applied both of them. So we're definitely want to be more visible. As they say, I know a lot of people in the I can't say the female community, but in the female activism group, talk about if you can see her, you can be her. And that's really important to people. And I guess as a white male, I don't understand that as much as I do basically empathize with the idea, and it makes sense to me. So if people can see us the same way that people are out being gay, out pride, they're very vocal about it. If we show as atheists that it's okay to be out in the community, it's okay to say you're an atheist, it's no longer a taboo word, then that's where we want to be.
Yeah, that's why I'm having more of a voice, because this and the community in a whole is majority cis white men. And even like the call-in shows and things like that, most of the time it's cis white men talking to another cis white man about women issues or black issues, which you can have understanding if you maybe been around black people or women, but some of them like, you don't know nothing, you only know what you hear. So
Mhm.
that's why it's good for many of us women are now stepping up. That's why black non-believers is so important to me, so we can step up. And that's why it's so important for me to be part of Michigan Atheist, so that I can bring the diversity into the community, because all we would look and see boomers.
Mhm.
That's all we would see. And I would be like, what the world? And then when it came to change, they would get mad. But here we are. I think the group is moving into a great, um, so a great moving in great strides. Now, Saturday I was not able to make. I overslept, and then I had to work for the other event, because I work 10 hours. When I leave here, I got to work for 10 hours, Monday through Saturday. But we had a volunteer event. It was in Pontiac, right? That you
Uh,
did.
so altogether, with this weekend, Michigan Atheists had 4 events,
Oh, oh,
and
four. Oh, yeah.
those for the weekend.
Also the other that we did. Okay, okay,
That's right.
okay.
So it's Saturday morning. There was a volunteer event. It was our first one. It was working with the Michigan Atheist Coalition, which is more just kind of like a group, kind of social
Ryan will
media.
be on whenever he gets a chance. I will have Ryan on as well.
Yep, and
So
we
okay.
talked about that, how I'm going to be here today, and then Ryan, I think he said next month is
Yeah,
coming on, and then they work alongside with OC Mutual, and
I
basically,
didn't know that. Okay.
yep, basically at the right there in the if you're familiar with the Detroit area, the club district of Pontiac. That's the best way to
Okay.
describe it, because the Phoenix Center is gone. Is demolished. They're building something. I don't know if it's going to be a park or it's going to be office buildings. But you know, growing up, it was called Pontycrack. My apologies to anybody who's from there. But if you were there in the 80s and 90s, it really was Pontycrack. But now it's Pontiac. It's a lot better now. They're rebuilding it the way they're rebuilding Detroit. So we set up there. There's a bus depot, like a little bus depot there, and
Okay.
people are coming and going. It was just tabling of not promoting atheism, but just handing stuff out.
Yeah.
Clothes, food, medical needs, toiletries, and it was just a bunch of volunteers standing there Saturday morning. I didn't have to do it. It was just something that
Yeah.
we should do, I think, as human beings to help each other out. And we got some ideas again of doing more of that stuff at other places, and I pitched them a couple
Yeah, that's
ideas. And,
very important, especially with this economy now and them
Mhm.
cutting. And I've been low income. I'm glad I'm not at the position anymore, but I've been in a situation. I was in an abusive relationship, and when I got out, I had to start with nothing.
Mhm.
So I'm
I'm very
empathetic
familiar
with
with that
these
feeling.
people. Yeah, and so when you get somebody that doesn't care, yeah, I care if they was like, so you want your money to be spent on some other children eating. Yes, I don't have any problems with a couple dollars in my pocket to help somebody that needs help.
Mhm.
None at all. Then the big thing, I was able to miss it, the No Kings protest. You were part of that Spain. Talk about that experience with the No King protest.
Yeah, so that was the timing worked out perfectly because the volunteer event was from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then the No Kings protest, which was different times all over the Detroit area. There were some my part of the suburbs where it was early in the morning. Some people were afternoon, and later on, and the one, I guess, quote unquote, the main one, we'll say, because it was Detroit, was from 3 to 5, and it started out at the old train station at Roosevelt Park, and we marched up or down Michigan Avenue until I got to the Lodge Bridge, and what was there was a lot of people. It took a good hour to make that march, and there was actually a gentleman there who was by himself. Nice dressed gentleman, but he was really loud and obnoxious. He was a Trump supporter. He was trying to get into the parade, into the crowd,
Wow.
and our security stopped. Not Michigan Atheist, but like the security of the parade, the No Kings security, they stopped him. The cops were around, but they're like, "Listen, he's not doing anything illegal, and as long as you understand, you can't do anything illegal. Like you can't actually touch each other."
Yeah.
So if he touches you first, then you're allowed to defend yourself, and that's when we come in. So when we got to the very end of the parade, we all congregated, and people started speaking about No Kings. He actually somehow just charged right into the middle of it by himself. And I saw him, and I see all this commotion in the crowd, and then all of a sudden he gets literally thrown out, and it looked like he got punched in the face once or twice, and he landed right in front of the Detroit police, who picked him up, cuffed him, and escorted him away. Okay,
Oh,
well,
that's
yeah, you're a
funny.
Trump supporter. Clearly, you're not in the
Yeah.
right state of mind. That's why you're a Trump supporter. So I hope they get him the right mental health that he deserves, and mental health is a huge part of our community. And me personally, that's one of my pet projects, is to expand mental health for everyone.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, how are you gonna, have you thought of the ways are you going to implement that?
First, we have to build our community. We have to get people behind us with support. Then we can go to the economists and the politicians and say, look at how many people want this. That is the voice of the people. That's what a democracy, or even if you call it a constitutional republic, doesn't matter which one you call it. We, the people, are the ones who do decide the fate of America and our societies. There's a lot of pushback sometimes from right wing conservatism. If you go all the way back to slavery, there's a lot of people who supported that. Today, there's still some people who believe we should go back to that, but there's not that many people because that ideology has kind of died out over these, well, now centuries, really. Um, so once we get enough people and we can show up at town halls and say, okay, politicians, go to the state capitals, legislatures. Okay, politicians, this is what we want. We want more funding in healthcare because that's our community. And if you need to know where to get it from, the military is the best place. They're at $1 trillion a year. We don't need all that spending. We need to take care of people in our community to have better lives than arming our soldiers, and especially we don't need to be sending them into our own cities.
But the one thing is that when you're looking at the government today, they're cutting off so many programs that are used to help the medically needed, and that's, or the programs that help the mental health and stuff like that. So that's the issue that I have right now, that we need more money into programs like this, but instead they're taking it away to put it in their pockets. It's for what I'm seeing.
Mhm.
So I don't even know where should we go from there. And that's my fear right there. And I always say, like, is he trying to make this into a North Korea? I don't know, but that's my fear, is that he's trying to bring us into that dictatorship and we're not able to leave or to go nowhere. and nobody can come see us and take away our social media where it's only amongst the people in this area. And that's scary to me. I don't know. And I'm hoping that I'm just imaginizing. My imagination is running with me.
You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. Coming from the Soviet Union, and even though, clearly by my accent, I've been here for a long time, and I'm not trying to say that, I grew up there. I saw every hardship possible. I didn't even know what a gulag was when I was there. But I still was raised by the parents, grandparents, cousins, my friends, the community, their parents, who they come here. You still have that mentality. You're an immigrant. You're still thinking the way you did in the old country. So there's definitely a strong parallel between what the Soviet Union was like with politics and the right-wing conservative Republican side of American politics. It is parallel. I think the cherry on top was the military parade. We have to have a military parade. We have to show our
Yes.
might. And when I heard that, I started thinking of Gorbachev or Stalin up there in Red Square, going, oh, look at all these rockets we have. This is beautiful. We can defend ourselves. Nobody dare attack us because we have all these rockets. And look at how great our soldiers can march. Well, yeah, that's a 20th century ideology. Putin's a 20th century dictator. He is eventually going to die out. Who's going to replace him? I don't know. Trump is a wannabe dictator, in my opinion. He would love to do things, but he has been stopped a lot. And I know a lot of people are always begin to say, oh, but he hasn't been stopped on these ones. Well, you got to look at the positives and the negatives. You don't win every battle, but in the end, we will win the war. He cannot run again. And for the people who say that, oh, but he's going to try, I say, good, because I would love to tap Obama and be like, Mr. Obama, we need you back, sir.
Yes.
He says it's okay to run more than 2 terms, so you're up, and let's see that debate stage. Let's see him talk about eating cats and dogs with Obama standing up there.
Exactly. But I will say this, there has not been a president that has not had flaws, but Obama would be a way better choice. Not everything Obama did that I agree with,
Mm-hmm.
but I I don't even know what to say about him. I don't even know what's wrong with people. And so it was one hold on, I'm trying to comment on somebody right now. Hold on. So it was somebody and they influential video, TikTok or Facebook, something like that. And so the person commented on one of their posts and they were reacting to it. And you tell he was a MAGA person, and he was like, why are you bothering me? It's my business if I want to be a transphobe, a racist. And he was like, what? So that's a lot of their thinking process though. Like they don't care that it's affecting people. I can hate people because of something that they can't control.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're we keep saying we believe in First Amendment rights for everybody, and I remember going back to even high school where they talked about the was it the Skokie, Illinois issue from the 70s when the KKK wanted to march through a Jewish community. Are they
Yeah.
allowed to and all that stuff?
How
And
dare they?
it's true, how dare they, but they do have that First Amendment right, and as long as they understand that their First Amendment right ends where my nose begins, meaning yes, you can say things because you have that protection. We do today begin to understand more that verbal abuse is worse than physical abuse, but it's hard to litigate something like that, and I'm not doing that right now. I'll leave that up to the professionals. So if people want to believe, in racist ideology, that's fine. If they want to get together in their basements or their sheds and have their disgusting, evil, perverted, racist jokes and conversations, sadly, that's the drawback to us allowing our freedoms as individuals. But once they start planning stuff, once they start talking about action, once it becomes a verb and they actually begin to engage in doing something, then that's the problem. That there shows intent to harm people, and that's where we got to draw the line. Obviously, words lead to actions, and hopefully, these people will die off with the generations. Hopefully, we'll have enough people where on the street that they'll be actually afraid to do something because there are so many cameras. You can't fix crazy, but again, going back to what we were saying a minute ago, mental health is really important. And like we just had somebody, I think it was in Florida, a gentleman who had a mental health issue. They got their hands on a gun and they were going to shoot up an airport. But their family saw this and notified the
Oh,
police.
that's good.
Their own family wasn't turning it in. It wasn't snitching at all. They protected. They clearly knew that this person was in danger. They had got a hold of an AR-15, the weapon of
Wow.
choice for, for mass shootings, and they were stopped at the airport. They were arrested. This is just a few days ago.
That's scary because I remember the airport shooting, I think it was in Fort Lauderdale some years ago, where a man came in with the gun and rampage. There was a couple of people from Detroit area that got in the ambush because of that. That's scary, that people walk around doing that. But I always said, jokingly, but laughing, but very serious, that if they come after and want to act crazy, and I would have to be like Nat Turner. I'm just sorry. I don't want to be like that, but nope, I'm going down. I'm not going down without a fight. I'm not. If I saw I go, I'm gonna go. But I'm not gonna lose my rights that I still don't have. So they're trying to take away the little rights that I have, and I have less rights than what I have, and they want to take what I have because how it's showing up that they want us back in the fields, and they got me fucked up. I'm straight up. I'm not changing. No. I mean, I work in automotive field, so I do work a continuous job, but that's what I choose to do, and I make a pretty decent pay doing it. But unless you go give me $40 an hour, that's only I'm working in the field.
Yeah. I don't see somebody being paid $40 an hour to work in the field because those tomatoes are going to be ridiculously expensive. It's
Exactly. They're gonna pay
Yeah.
$20 for one tomato.
Yeah. Well, we definitely need to revamp our society, kind of relook at it, and from a business perspective, right now it's the year 2025, which means Q1 of the 21st century is over. And anybody who's been in business, they know that every quarter you look back and you look over to see what was happening, and you compare it to the previous one. So what did Q1 look like the first 25 years of the 20th century, 1900 to 1925? What did we learn? What did we get right? What did we get wrong? We started out in 1900 where women could not vote. In 1925, they could vote. Clearly, progress was made, but it's crazy to think that in the 20th century, women were not allowed to vote to a certain time. In the 1970s, women weren't even allowed to own a credit card at the time.
Yeah, my mom was one.
Things changed over time. So we look at Q1 and then we look to see, okay, and I was already in college for the 2000 election. So I have an adult perspective of Q1 of the 21st century. And clearly war is not the answer. We saw the two wars from the Bush administration. We saw other engagements all over the world. It's clear that people don't want war, except for the people who profit from it. And
Yes.
so the future generations who grow up with this, they realize we don't want this anymore. We're going to change it. We're going to have different politicians. If people talk about constantly about these parties, we only have a two-party system, which, yes, because we don't have the coalitions the way they have it in other countries that created democracies after us. After the United States. But I do believe that one of my pet projects that will really help out is to have a secular political group, some sort
That
of
will work.
secular Americans for secularism or something like that. Whereas basically, we're not doing any religion in your political ideology. Are you a politician who is economically informed? Are you looking at it from an economic, what is best for the economy versus what is best, quote unquote, socially, what is socially acceptable? Because the First Amendment should drive us no matter what. There's a reason why it's the First Amendment. It's the most important one: freedom of expression, freedom of thought, freedom of beliefs. And we need to have politicians. And I think that with the growing of independence in the political system, Bernie Sanders isn't the only one that's independent.
Yes.
Current Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan, who is going to be running for the governorship next year. He's running as an independent. We're going to see a lot more of that. And if people do need an independent party, I think that should be the party of secularism. People always say that atheists believe in nothing. Well, if you mean that we're a clean slate when we start, absolutely. We're a clean slate, and we're just going to build on what we need.
Would you ever consider running for political office?
No, only because if technically I'm not eligible to be president, and if you can't be president, if you can't get to the top, why start?
Well, I
But I'm
mean,
not.
helping out locally is a start.
Yeah, I haven't ruled it out. I tell you right now, I don't have any political ambitions. In 5 or 10 years, if something is different, if the world is different, and people are like, "Hey, you did a great job with Michigan Atheists. You really helped out with this and that. We think that you do a great job in this position." It's just a job. It's just another job, whether you're the Secretary of State, whether you're the governor, whether you're an attorney general, any of those things. It's just a job. And are you qualified? Are you going to do good for the people? And if people think that, I'll consider it.
Yeah, because we always make a joke. You're an asshole, but you're our asshole.
Yeah, and
I thank you. Huh? Go ahead.
if you know business, they'll tell you that the biggest, strongest, most powerful person is not always it's not always. I'm sorry, the person in charge is not always the biggest, the fastest, the best. Sometimes you just have to be an asshole because that's what it takes to get things done.
Exactly. I mean, oh no, we're not gonna do that. No, somebody is like, no, this is what we're gonna do. I mean, like different with the civil rights, and we learned about too, the Martin Luther King and the Malcolm X. Both were needed, but a lot of times there was that Malcolm X, like, I ain't playing that. The Black Panther was like, no, we're not gonna let y'all play us over. We're gonna fight to get our rights. And that was to keep our rights now. Sad. Time is almost up. I want to thank you again for coming on. It was a wonderful conversation, but we always have nice conversations, even outside of here. And is anything that you would like to plug?
MichiganAtheist.com.
Okay.
It's our website. It answers all our questions. You can become a member. It's only $35 a year. I am not paid. Nobody in this organization is paid. We all do things out of the goodness of our heart. We're all volunteers. We need to build our community, and that's where it starts. Join us at our events. Please indicate you're coming either on Meetup or on Facebook. Those are the two main places where we post all of our events. But please don't say you're coming and don't show up.
Hey, man,
Those are the
and
ones.
especially if we got to pay for the space.
Yeah, and make reservations. I don't know how many people we go to. If we're going to do a dining out thing, and 20 people responded, but only 6 showed up because other people just wanted to say yes to be nice. That ends up hurting us.
That's not nice.
If you come out to our stuff, yeah, we're gonna have
We have fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Friendsgiving, New Year's. If anybody understands, East European culture, New Year's is very important to us, and I try to put on a huge gala festivities.
Yeah, we have.
I
Yeah,
know
we had
you
a great
had fun
time
last
time.
year. My daughter, she had fun. I think everybody, I didn't hear any
Yeah, we had a great
complaints
time.
party. So yeah, we're going to be doing all these events, and just come out and support us. Whether it's volunteering, which we're going to be doing more volunteering events, if you want to do good for your community, or you just want to be social, just hang out with other people, get something to eat, go to a museum, things like that. And we
Oh
are also
yeah.
doing a little bit of political stuff too, which is now we can't, because we are a 501c3, we cannot endorse or champion on behalf of any politicians, but we can support ideologies, and we can go to local town halls. And I know for some people, we've gone to local town halls in the Metro Detroit area and said, hey, would you mind not praying before your public government secular meeting? If you want to
Yes.
pray, have a moment of silence. That's fine. Pray to yourself, and don't be all sneaky and with amen. Oh, I said it. It's out. No, let's be honest. It's no. Let's not act like children. Let's behave adults. Have a moment of silence. If I know some of these town halls, they have placards that say "In God We Trust." I don't think that should be there, because we don't need to have religion in our politics. So whatever people see, whatever people want to actually engage in, that's what we're there for. That's what the community is supposed to do.
Because I had it already up. This is my link tree. Michigan Atheist is one of the links that's in there. So if you get to that, I do have Michigan Atheist on my link tree.
Nice. Thank you.
So yeah. So join, even if you're not part of Michigan, the Michigan area, if you happen to come to Michigan, please come to one of our events and everything. Like I said, once again, great conversation. Um, I'm glad we're able to work together. I think we have a good friendship,
Mhm.
at least business-ish.
Well, I think
Okay.
we have personal too. We talked
Yeah,
personal.
we hang
So
out at the we hang out at the burlesque shows and stuff.
yeah,
We have a lot of fun.
yeah.
But
Hey,
it's only
good
me, you, and
entertainment for
Tamara
entertainment.
that want to go to those. They be lame. They don't want to have
That's fine.
fun.
Hey, well, I suggest this stuff. Hey, I asked if anybody wants to go to a Lions game, and some people said yes, some people said no.
I want to go, so I'm down with that.
Oh yeah, last night would have been a great time to have been and at
I
Ford
can't
Field.
go.
Yeah, I know.
Those assholes. Okay,
Sundays,
wait.
Tuesdays
Okay,
on
I'm trying to
Sundays.
see what John says. I don't know if you noticed, Anthony, but it looks like nonprofits are backing politicians all over the country, and no one is doing shit about it.
Yeah, the law is still the same. Trump did have the IRS basically kind of, because he's a bully, so he gets all of his cronies in all the positions, qualified or not qualified. Most of them are very not qualified, and basically they just kind of look the other way. But at the same time, that's nothing new. Even for his 2016 election, I remember Trump going into a black church. It was somewhere here. It was either in the Detroit area, or maybe it was in the Flint area. He was at a black church talking politics, and that is actually strictly forbidden. So that really has been kind of
Yeah,
overlooked for a very long time. We definitely need to get a separation of church and state, keep politics and religion very separate. Uh, Obviously, I'm not running for anything, so I can't say if I'm elected that things will change. But look into politicians. If you right now we're about to have our election season. If you go to a rally and somebody is a political rally, and somebody has a Q&A section, and you have a chance to ask them, how do you feel about separation of church and state? How do you feel about politicians going into churches, synagogues, mosques, and promoting political ideology when clearly that's against the law?
exactly.
And if you need help with that, if you need somebody standing behind you, I myself, even if I'm by myself, will be there watching your back. And hopefully we can build Michigan Atheist as a strong community that will be standing behind you, supporting you, so you have a voice to ask that politician, whether they're an incumbent or it's their first election, and where do you stand? Do you actually share my ideologies? Because I don't want to listen to your hate-filled stuff. If I hate this person, I hate that people. These people are
That's not gonna help
dangerous.
anyway. That's not gonna help anyway.
No, scare tactics is something from the far right. We know that from communism, and it's not going to work any longer anyway.
So I'm gonna plug a few things. So Mondays, we have our Job and Jug show. I've been streaming it on this channel as well, but it's also on the Daily Atheist Morning Show. It's a podcast I have with seven other wonderful women. Remember, everybody, Ryan, Amber, Bree, AJ, Jess, who actually is the one who did my video as well, the intro video as well, Lilith, Maya, and myself. So that's Monday from 9 to 11. Then sometimes I'm on Hot Topic with Amber's show as well. And that's from 11 to 1. And then I don't know, next week, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure what guest I'm going to have on. I haven't confirmed everything, but I know the following week, well, the beginning of November, I'll be on my cruise, the Black Non-Believers cruise. So I know I might have Candace Gorham because she'll be on the cruise. So I'll probably interview her. We'll be at the hotel. But I thank everyone for tuning in today. Remember, Black Non-Believers fundraiser, $15,000. We will eat candy corn between a bag, Mandisa, Cynthia, myself, and then Friday, 7 p.m., Skeptic Havens channel. They're doing a fundraiser to help 3 of our people in the community that need our help: Amber, Kyle, and Sadie. I thank you for tuning in. Until next time, bye everyone.
All right, thanks for having me.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride.